Hello everyone, welcome to some more Holdfast. Oh my goodness, the day just changed, look at that. As if by magic, we went from night to day. And welcome to the 95th Regiment's Line Battle event. You can see here, this is in the free cam mode. Now, bear in mind, boys and girls, I will be switching between the free cam and the third person so that we can identify, obviously, all the various regiments. We are here at the British spawn. Fine riflemen ready to go. All the regiments getting themselves sorted. Look at these lovely lines. All the guys waiting. And we should be away very shortly, so we are at the British spawn, obviously. Look at all these guys all being organised by the officers, making sure they're in the right line, making sure they're all organised and ready to go. So, we move up here and you can see also, additionally, adding to this fine desert map, we have the two cannons available. They're going to need to turn that off. Even though it is daylight, probably just act as a essentially a thing, basically a targeting beacon. So it's like aim over here because the light's on. So anyway, now you can see with the skirmishers moving out at the lead with their additional distance and accuracy, you can see them moving out. The line troops here moving out in fine form, and lights also. So you can see all the regiments moving out. Now, one thing I will have to do, there isn't an option yet. I've been in touch with the devs. We're going to have, obviously, more options where the spectator cam is concerned as the game progresses. So at this current moment, you'll have to see me click spectate. And here we are with the French, the NR32 Cadet Matus. And you can see at the back also there is a surgeon. And these guys are making their way out. Let's move over to Colonel Jacobulp of the 32 EME. Doesn't he look handsome? Look at that. The fine sun shining in the desert map. We're making their way over to the ruins, you can see. And here you can see KWT Beaton from the 11 PPL, along with his teammates, and they're taking cover behind the ruins that is available. Start to move up towards the broken viaduct and make their way forward to try and take out as many of the enemy as they possibly can. You can see these guys. There we go. You can see them looking for that all-important opportunity. Fine shooting coming in from the 11 PPL. A couple of casualties in the 82nd. Look at this. Oh, heavens. Poor Vardis. This is what is waiting at the French spawn. So, Private Gibbs of the... Private J. Gibbs of the 40th. Now you can see them lining up. They're going after the French, which are making their way between the ruins. And the firing coming in from all directions. Let's see how these boys are doing. There's a few kills in there as well onto the 40th. And the 11 PPL. Oh, brutal shooting. As these guys trying to keep the lines together, but also trying not to get shot. As you can see, Gibbs dancing around like Michael Flatley on speed. So here you can see at the other end, look at this. There's EVA. There's Recruit Goth. Or Got. And we move over to the NR32, the 1st Brigade Hun. And these guys waiting for an opportunity. 82nd, General Shepherd seems to be lost. And here is Romanian. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the free roam camera. And we're going to look around to see what we can find. So here you can see battles in the centre, making their way up towards those ruins, the Colosseum ruins or the column ruins. You've also got these fellows here, the Brits. Look at this, drilling. Isn't this beautiful? Don't they look great? Getting ready to move out, and off they go. You've also got additional forces covering their right flank. You can see the riflemen and the lights. These fine skirmisher fellows. They're reforming, getting organised, and in search of the French army. So, the line here So let's see. So you can see them now making their way in towards the ruins. And going to be looking to support their teammates who are beautifully lined up behind this wall as the officer is checking through his spyglass to see if he can see the enemy. Now let's see if we can actually find out where those dastardly Frenchmen are. Man with a flag. Cheesing it across the desert. Keeping the flag low to avoid any kind of attention. Now, up here you can see the skirmishers pushing forward against the Brits. Oh, sorry, against the French, I should say. There's no French over on the left-hand side, so there's no chance of an outflanking. But the fire is coming in. And let's see what's going on. Is there a battle? A melee? Oh, look at this. Oh, wow. Look at this. Fine drumming. These guys getting themselves set up. And it could be that they're trying to force the British to come out and fight on the Frenchmen's terms. But it's difficult to say right now. So you can see the Imperial Eagle with the tricolor waiting. Now, you've got the lights over here and the skirmishers, complete with their end drummer. And you can see them taking pot shots at the Brits. Fine fellow over here on the left-hand side. Now, you can see here 65 versus 83. So, the French definitely have the advantage when numbers are concerned. You can see some people have been lost, but these guys, I would say, the lights and skirmishers are at the forefront of this particular battle. You've also got additional line forces making their way round the back to support the skirmishers. Obviously, I reckon probably moving over to the left-hand flank to try and circumvent those guys who are making their way forward. So, yeah, you can see there, those guys moving. Now, let's see. What is their plan? Because right now, I think it's fair to say that the British are being the more aggressive of the two forces. The French are really just sitting back and waiting for them to come to them to pick them off as they go. And that may be the way to do it. Oh dear. But we'll have to wait and see. So, 30 minutes, roughly, remain on this round. Now, let's see. Not seeing really a huge amount of cannon fire coming in. I suppose to a certain degree the enemy forces are out of range. But the French are making use of the defensive position here behind the broken viaduct. With the occasional straggler getting shot at. So, let's see if we can find out what they're planning to do. Right now, it's a little bit of a standoff because the Brits don't really want to make a massive rush towards them because it could result in a lot of casualties. And the French really have no reason to come out from behind their cover point because they're in a good position. So we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. And now you can see here the skirmishers are taking some fire, but they're well spread out so that the casualties can be minimised. And Tobias just got taken down. And you can see the odd lineman making his way back. And here now you can see the fire coming in to the skirmishers as the Brits get aggressive. Look at this, here they come. making their way all the way up towards the viaduct. And look at that. Being sneaky. They're going to be moving around. Oh, nasty shots into poor old Hank there from the Yorks Battalion. And now the British, led by the skirmishers and the riflemen, can start pushing up on an outflanking position against the French. And this is now a knotty situation for them, as they're in a defensive position. Oh, there we go. The cannons are set not to be used in this event. So, the French now being forced to flee, taking casualties around the area of the broken viaduct. And look at this. Defensive position is in. And they're waiting for an opportunity to fire. They're staying hidden. Oh, nice shot indeed. Into the lone. And fire coming back. And look at this. Casualties being taken, despite the fact that they're behind the walls. Great shooting coming in from the British light forces and skirmishers. Those riflemen picking off the enemy, and look at that. The line which tried to outflank shut down very quickly indeed. And now the Brits have been forced to return to cover. So these riflemen will be picking off the enemy. Oh, heavens. Dear, oh dear. Poor old Paisley, rifleman of the 95th, a casualty of war. And now we can see they're slowly trying to pick off the enemy. Get those all-important rifle shots onto gentlemen like this man here. So, there is still a defensive contingent waiting for the British forces. Now, this could be a potential ambush situation here for the Brits. Yeah, there's a rifleman making his way, and it looks like they're moving out, and down goes Tron John, I think that was. Officer hiding behind the ruins. And the line continues to move, forcing the French to flee from behind their defensive positions. Oh, this isn't going to go well. Indeed, it did not. And now you can see the remaining riflemen being cut down very effectively by the riflemen. The Frenchmen, the skirmishers, now fleeing back over the rocks, dodging fire as best they can. And look at that. The French appear to have the advantage, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's go and have a look around, shall we? So here you can see the 1st Brigade. Numbers relatively okay. The QRR, there's Uxbridge. Look at those fine fellows from Uxbridge. And they are going to be... Looks like they're going to be kind of getting everybody back together, reforming them to try and make a final push. There we go. There's Kid Flash, recruits. Got to try and stay out of trouble if he can. Get into the line so he can fire back. And there we go, fire coming in. And it looks like a member of the QRR took a casualty. There we go, you can see the QRR taking some casualties there. And Oberst Danny of the NR32 leading his boys forward. Look at that. Looking handsome. Losing some of the people as he makes his way across the desert and into the ruined areas to provide that little bit of extra cover. Richard W. Blue of the 95th. Rifleman. Looking for a target. And the Ensign J. Harris, look at that face, of the 40th, working together with General Shepherd. And Hidden Squid, good God, what a fine name, of the 1st Battalion, the QRR, look at that. Lance Corporal Hidden Squid, in fact. So, let's see. Oh, looks like the 1st Brigade NR32 taking some casualties from fire coming in from that nasty place. And going in for shots. And a nice shot into blue. And now supported by other members of the NR32. They're moving forward. And going in for a little bit of stab and grab. Fine stab into Begotten coming from Small Man. He's going for an officer. Going in for that stab and kills Ensign Harris. With a mighty stab and then gets stabbed in the bottom in return. We're now looking at Recruit CERN. Following in with the remainders. You can see it's pretty much all for the Brits. Here's James Noble of the 95th Riflemen. And he's going to be going in there for... Oh, he missed the shot. And the flag holder's now after him with the tricolor and takes him down. Pokes him in the testicles with an Imperial Eagle. Not really the way you want to die. A lovely kill, and Baker goes down as well.
Les Français sont victorieux.
Well, here you can see Recruit Nan following in behind his Colonel, Valadantor. Or Valadantor. Oh, God, I'm terrible with names. The NR32. Fine fifage coming in from these guys. You can see keeping the boys together with a bit of local VoIP. Isn't this wonderful? Now, one thing to bear in mind, I do have the local VoIP turned off because obviously it would be somewhat interrupting of the immersiveness of the cast. But never mind. Now, one thing, unfortunately, that you have yet with the FreeCam Spectator is the ability to see player names. That will obviously be changing at some point, based on conversations that I've had with members of the development team. And look at this, the 82nd Recruit Old Robin. Oh, my goodness, look at this. Oh, the QR, don't they look fantastic? Look at these boys. Absolutely amazing. So, Recruit Fur of the 35th EMA, or the 35th. They're doing the calisthenics. Oh my goodness. I wonder if we can get a free roam picture of that. Look at that. Don't they look handsome? Anyway, you can see officers at the back. Oh, goodness me. Poor old Jamonsi. They've lost already from the QRR. A tad unfortunate. And you can see these guys trying to avoid the bullets that are coming in towards them. They've got a rifleman up here by the rocks in this lovely open field with some cover, but obviously most of the cover will be the rocks or the brow of the hill, stuff like that. So here are the skirmishers and the lights again, and these guys making use of the additional elevation that the rocks provide them. And so the skirmishers and the lights trying to put some oppressive fire down upon the French forces. As look at this. In they come, getting up close and personal. And the fire going in, the 95th, the LV in there taking some fire as well. And the 40th suffering some casualties. Brave fighting continuing. Regardless of the bullet fire, down goes another man. Look at that. Dropped brutally by the bullet fire. We follow these guys as they make their way. There we go, the flag being held down. Try and stop giving away the position. In behind the rocks. And some of these guys, they have a little bit of a problem when it comes to cover, using the brow of the hill. You have an AFK fellow. Now no longer AFK. So, let's see. Now, over the other side of this open area, which is going to be a problem for both the troops, really, because when you think about it, there's not a huge amount of cover available. They're going to progress from rocks to rocks to rocks, really. And now you can see the Brits starting to move out here on what is the British right flank, the left flank of the French, trying to get themselves into a nasty position, but they've suffered quite a few casualties as a result of that attempt. You can now see the line starting to pull back a little bit as the French line is moving to try and reinforce that left flank. You can see here the Brits now being forced back and forced to circle around to the centre. Maybe they can use the numbers to sort of focus their attention and focus their fire through the centre, maybe. That's where most of the enemies seem to be at the moment. And these riflemen getting themselves ready with fine butterflies all around. No smell-o-vision on this event, unfortunately. Just have to imagine the fine. Oh God, can you imagine having hay fever in this day and age? Eyes would be streaming, constantly sneezing, giving away your position. Oh God, can you imagine how hellish that would be? Nice fire coming in from the British Army. And Smallman taken down by Tobias Moore from the 95th. Now you can see those numbers being now reinforced. And we watch over the right flank of the British Army. What's going on over here? Random bonfire. Oh my God. This must be the area where Jesus Christ is. This is the burning bush. Never mind. So, over here on what is the right flank of the British Army, we have some sneaky Frenchmen. Now you can see these guys going for a very roundabout manoeuvre. Trying to move in towards the burning bush. Now, yeah, this is a very roundabout manoeuvre by the French. And they're looking to try and maybe get some long distance kills. But the trouble is also, because of the fire, it now means that they have essentially given away their position. Oh, nice shooting coming in from the enemy, taking down a few members of the French army. Now they're going to move to take cover. So, we move over and we're watching the right flank of the British Army being pressured by the fine fellows of the French forces. So, you've got skirmishers out here. Not many people to try and at least pick off the enemy. You've got skirmishers also holding that front. Well, I should say the middle front. So, now, let's have a look. You can see now that the... Oh, look at that. There was a move by the British here to try and reinforce that right flank. So you can see now, supported by line troops at a distance. Just glorious, just so beautiful. Look at these boys. The fine smoke, the cordite. Oh dear. So, under the command of their officer, keeping the various detachments and sections focused. And you can see now that the enemy does have a little bit of an advantage here. As we fly past the burning bush, they have the advantage of the rocks to defend them from the bullet fire. You can see them all standing up, taking pot shots. And it is the QRR here, and you can see, sadly for the QRR, there are a few casualties. But these guys definitely have the advantage with respect to this position. Now, they've got to watch their far left flank, because the last thing they need is for an enemy to move around their left. And now, as a result of that, they've decided to pull back. So you can see them now pulling back, and more fire coming in. You can see the 95th taking down more members of the QRR. And now they're going to be in a position where they're going to try and move back. Oh dear, I think they just lost their fifer. No, he stopped fifing. I really thought they'd lost the fifer for a second. Oh dear, this is not good here for the boys. You can see them coming under sustained fire. The defensive positions and the defensive fire coming in from the Brits on their far right flank is quite devastating right now. And there we go. And a warning from the admin to watch the orifice aiming. No aiming at orifices. That is, of course, officer aim. So we'll just have to wait and see how that turns out. Now. Oh, taking a bullet. Some of these guys, they're going to be bleeding rather profusely. May slow them down when it comes to their movement. But, moving in behind, look at this. A potential ambush being played. Oh, shots into the 35th EME. Oh, the 35 EME now. Trying to provide... Oh, down goes the officer. Oh, dear. Poor Etienne, or Etienne. Taken down as more fire coming in. Look at this. The United Kingdom definitely... Oh, dear. Oh, wow. The shooting coming in from the British Army. The drilling... Absolutely superb. And that was the 35th EME, the 35th, or 35th, I should say. That could be them done for, as these lights did a fantastic job of defending their position. That increased accuracy of the light rifles, those Baker rifles being carried by the British riflemen, definitely making a significant difference. And now you can see additional British forces moving in on their right flank, pushing up against the French left. You can see them dodging the bullets. Look at this. Defiant fifing against the world. It could soon be over. Look at this. Lovely stuff. That's enough of your fifing, damn it. Oh dear. Poor Pfeiffer. I think that was Ross Stilton. Brutally murdered, maybe. I don't know, but... Whoops-a-daisy. Old Robin there. Not getting out of the way quick enough. Oh dear. Never mind. That's one way to get a promotion, I suppose. Dear, oh dear. Let's go and have a look to see who's left. Rifleman Robert Manners. Here, Recruit von Lingen of the SVA. Here, the 40th. There's Recruit J. Wolf. James Noble, we're back in with again. There's Ekman. Working together with the SVA. All charge, no ferning. Oh yes. From the days of North and South. And now look at these guys moving in. And there we go. The charge begins. You can see there the VoIP coming in from the various people. They make their way over the brow of the hill for the final melee confrontation. You can see here it's Bernadotte and Fredrickson, and there's Manners. And there's Kentington as well. Here we go, boys and girls. And look at that. The man with the tricolor is down. Oh dear, Ekman. Still managing to survive as the brutality of the melee continues. Look at that. The remaining Frenchman, oh dear. It's EM. He's here somewhere. Where could he be? No, it's possible they're all dead. So, let's wait and see.
The British are victorious.
There you have it. And we're back with the next round. I have to say, the free cam mode I'm really liking. Obviously the space bar to do sort of crane up, crane down, control to move down like this, shift to move faster. It's definitely helpful and hopefully can make for some wonderful shots that I hope you all enjoy. Now, for those of you who know the way, I have pretty much turned the chat off, and obviously the minimap, as I don't see that's really necessary as far as the cast is concerned, as I can fly around wherever I need to. So here we are at the French spawn by the dead tree. Mushrooms. Fine fifage. Another tricolor mounted with an Imperial Eagle. The boys getting themselves sorted. So, fly across the fields. As here we are, the riflemen of the French army, and the lights. Fantastic to see so many drummers, because obviously, unlike Napoleonic Wars, because they use those bonuses they used to get used to literally lag the server out. So it got switched off, so pretty much they were there for cosmetic effect. However, in Holdfast, the drummers help, and the fifers help. So, oh hello, active surgeon there. And look at these guys getting themselves a bit of calisthenics, trying to make sure everyone's in line, ready to go. Now, let's see if we can find out the largest detachment, or at least the sort of layout of the forces as far as this map's concerned. Now, that unfortunately is as high as I can go, which is a shame, but I understand restrictions where the camera is concerned. So you can see here the far right flank, the French lights moving out, supported in the centre, and the left flank by line, and backed up in the centre by additional line forces. Now, what we need to do is lock in on these little fellows, because you can see now, here are the Baker riflemen, the skirmishers, the deadly riflemen, who are going to take down as many of the enemy as they can. Their left flank is being protected by a fine legion of line troops. And here we go, the fire starts kicking off, and it looks like the line at the back here behind the lights are losing people. SVA being cut to pieces, also QRR as well. So fine firing back and forth between the two regiments. Ouch! Oh no, look at that. Oh dear. Oh, that's just brutal. And look how many people they've lost. But reinforcements move in. Circle around. But it's good to see. You can see the lights and the skirmishers literally holding that line against the onslaught of the French army. And you can see they are still losing some people. Some of the skirmishers still falling. But the spread out formation and the accuracy of the Baker rifles and light rifles means that they can actually do some significant damage. So over here, by the burning bush, we've got to watch out this flank, because this is going to be the flank that the French are going to try and force. Now, let's have a look, because look at that. Exactly as predicted. The French army are trying to force that the British right flank. Get that all-important flanking position to try and at least put some pressure onto the Brits. So, they have a small force here defending the right flank. And now you can see them starting to move out. Got this line here. And another line at the back. Just defending the area of the burning bush. So, look at that, doesn't it look lovely? Got time for a barbecue afterwards. Never mind. Okay, so, barbecues aside. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, look at this. Ambush coming in from the Brits. Oh, shot into an officer. Oh, brutal murder going on there. The SVA, and down goes another member of the SVA. Last man standing up against the French, and he's about to get gangbanged in the worst way imaginable. And that's exactly what happened. Down went Bernadotte, the last survivor of the SVA. But a fine ambush coming in there from the NR-32. Worked exactly as planned. Now, that means that they have broken some of the defence here of the right-hand flank, with the fire still coming in from the French. And it looks like now you can see the guys in the centre and the right slightly. These guys probably going to have to move soon, because otherwise they're going to come under flanking fire from the enemy. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So they are the ones being sort of held to that position. There we go. Now they're moving. And now you can see the British forces changing positions with lines and possibly moving back and regrouping at an easier to defend location. So what remains of Baker riflemen here? The skirmishers reforming. The lines regrouping. And trying to put in some kind of defensive position against the onslaught of the French army. So this flank here, the left flank of the British, seems well protected. The skirmishers got to be careful. Bit of fire could take down quite a few of their number. That would really break the back of the defence. Now, speaking of the defence, you can see more French forces moving closer. And here they are. Surgeon in tow. And the guys making their way forward to try... Oh, look at this. And an outflanking manoeuvre already played by the British. But they decide to pull back as they decided to move out just a little bit too late. And this could be a problem for the skirmishers as the skirmishers get taken down. Look at that. Rifleman Robert Manners is finished off. And we've lost Fredrickson and Papa Pooch from the QRR. There's Pazzo also finished off as well. So this could be a very naughty situation here for the British Army. The skirmishers obviously have the advantage, and the lights have the advantage of their increased accuracy. but they may not be able to deal with it based on the number of forces coming at them from that flank. We'll have to wait and see. As they've just lost Richard Sharp of the 95th. Killed by Gem of the QRR. Look at this. Now they're getting aggressive. Like moving the line forward. On a slightly outflanking manoeuvre. Hiding behind the bush. Oh, down go a few members of the QRR. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, that was an attempt by the QRR to try and push that point. And some beautiful fire coming in from the French army. Broke the back of that attack. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful moment there. Obviously less so for the QRR, but still. So, there's the admin. Keeping on top of everybody. Making sure everyone obeys the rules. The rules are there to keep it as fun and equal for everyone as possible. Rules that have been established over many, many battles in Napoleonic Wars that have been brought over to Holdfast. Nations of War. So, let's go into the spectate and see who's there. Polish Hussar from the 82nd. Doesn't he look handsome? Recruiting lines from the QRR. Following the loan. We got a random guy. Afrascrote. Oh, okay. Who disconnected his recruit CERN. Also of the QRR. And here, General Shepherd of the 82nd. Now, Romanian from the 2nd Battalion, Yorkshire, member of the QRR, and the 40th being told off for not standing. Here is the 82nd Auric, and here is the 40th. So, let's have a look around. There's Duncan. And Entline of the 35th. Look at these fellows. Maximus. Red coat. There's Pookie. Oh, goodness me, what's going on there? James Noble of the 95th Rifles. Now moving up. Part of the line. As you can see here, the 35th EME. Still doing a good job of surviving behind these rocks. So you can see, I think it's fair to say that the French have the advantage right now with where it comes to numbers. And there we go. The charge is underway, boys and girls. Let's see if we can find them. They've got to be here somewhere. Oh, we're going to have to go back to the old camera. Because otherwise we never would have found them. And stabbed into Kethrian. Here comes Richard Blue with the sword. His toothpick, so to speak. Going in for a bit of slice and dice. He's got to watch his back. Oh no, that's one of his friends, fortunately. Going in for a slice on the Frenchman. Supported by one of his lights. Oh, look at that. And there we go, a nice team kill. Richard. There's recruiting lines. Charging forward after the rifleman. Oh, stabbed down by inlines. And here they go charging into the remainders. And there you have it. Well, look at this for an evocative atmospheric map. A beautiful bright moonlight night, a moonlit night, but with a blistering wind coming through the map. So, we are live. You can see them all getting set up. Okay, so see a woodworker in there with a blunderbuss as the boys get ready and move out. Now, this may require some lantern work. There we go. Now, you can see here the rifleman moving up on the right flank towards the centre. I suppose we could... What would we call this? The dome? Or the ex-dome? It's difficult to say. But look at this. Aggressive pushing from the British. And look at that for a fort entrance. Isn't that beautiful? Now, it's very possible the enemy may come through here. It's going to be a nasty situation if they do. So, let's see what happens. Oh dear, we've lost Landsman Johnson from the HMS Orion. Ah. Frenchmen abound. You can see a little bit of a stuttering, as you can see from the comment made by the admin earlier. Is due for an update. So you're going to see maybe a little bit of jumping here. But now you can see the French army here making their way up the far right side of the viaduct onto the enemy's left flank. Now, it depends exactly how much... Oh! They just lost Nesta. And there's not a lot of defences on this side. Oh, they've got a reasonable number. But it may not be enough to defend against the horde of Frenchmen currently processing towards this direction. So, it's difficult to say, really. I mean, you know, it's going to be a significant firepower coming in from these guys, but it's whether or not they can time the ambush properly and how much the French are going to look to move up, because right now they are staying behind the cover that is available to them, which really makes sense. You don't really want to sort of make yourself too open with your enemy hiding behind good solid cover. But still, the French are very aggressive. And they'll want to move up and try and form any kind of attack that they can. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, fire coming in from the British and the French. Look at this. Oh, it's all kicking off now. A battle between the 11 PPL and the NR32. It looks like the Brits have managed to hold the French into position. Looking for that important fire. And there we go, another member of the NR32 taken down. And now you can see them moving around through the archway and pushing the point, forcing the French to flee. Oh, very close pistol shots. As now you can see more members of the NR32 falling as they move forward, but continuing to push the point. Oh, down goes the officer. Oh, poor Gabby Hun. And now you can see them moving. Oh, look at that. The NR32 taking casualties. More casualties. They've lost probably at least 4 or 5 people just in the transition between here and there. Oh, dear. Not good for the NR32. Doesn't help that you've got defensive positions like these fellows nearby, keeping them pinned down, supported on the left flank by these gentlemen. So, unless they can get somebody round there, that's going to be a problem. There's dodging coming in. As look at this, the NR32 charging in. Brave soldiers. Oh, and dead soldiers, sadly. Never mind. Now, the trouble is that then opens up this flank to an attack from the French. So, let's go and have a look on the standard spectate camera. Here's the 40th, moving through the ruins, and it's the SVEA, who had their contretemps with the 32nd. There's Almquist. Look at that. ADC Wes. Fine fifage from him. Oh, not anymore. His fifing has come to a brutal end. Shot in the kneecap and down he went. The lone in with the other members of the QRR. Probably the Brunswick Regiment. Look at that. The fire coming in from the QRR as they're now coming under attack. Oh! Officer on officer action coming up there. That was just a brutal close range pistol shot into the chest of the officer. That's a nice kill onto Kent here from the lone. And it looks like, there we go, you can see the VoIP coming in. He's going to be getting all the boys back together. And the Uxbridge detachment of the QRR. Oh dear, Malekith is dead. Oh dear, another one. We've got 2 Malekiths, that's always dangerous. Etelier. Here we go, Lance Corporal of the 35th. Yemi. And Iglesias, a recruit. And there's James, and here we are in with Recruit Sparrow. Following Mr. Sparrow as he makes his way. Following his teammates, like Gisborne, up towards the next point. Let's have a look around here. The SVEA Live Guard. Under the commanding officer. Fantastic. Love it. Absolutely love it. Obviously, there's certain aspects of the... Oh, that was lucky. Of the spectator mode that are going to be improved. That will make the immersiveness of the battle and will be able to give you more information. But needless to say, it's still great fun. Grenadier Pookie of the 35th here. Of course, the most hidden of all the squids from the QRR. Lance Corporal, hidden squid. You don't mess with the squids, boys. So, let's have a look around. These guys. Here's Vardis from the 11 PPL in a defensive position. And let's go back to the free cam. So, let's get an idea of what's going on with the battle. Now, one thing that is unfortunate is that I'm limited to the height I can go. So there must be a definitive choice where that is concerned, possibly causing problems. But it doesn't matter. I can still see pretty much what's going on. As there we go, the all charge is given. The Brits come charging out of the ruins. And there's a lantern. And down goes the lantern holder. Look at this. Oh, it's going to go badly for him. Yep, it went badly for him. Caporal Adam. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
The British are victorious.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That has been a line battle courtesy of the 95th Regiment. My thanks, obviously, to everybody for attending, for arranging it, and for the administrators doing all the hard work. And, of course, my thanks to every single regiment that attended. I hope you guys, boys and girls, have enjoyed the cast. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you think down the bottom. And we'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Cheers, guys.